let's stay and talk about the convention. NPM has experienced unconventional conventions for the past 2 years, of course. From moving to a fully virtual convention in 2020 due to the COVID-19 pandemic, to having a hybrid convention this past summer in New Orleans, NPM's conventions have been reimagined for the past 2 years, but they still brought people together. As we continue to learn the best way to manage this new way of presenting and the new way of offering conventions in our new world and our new reality, we've had important feedback from you, our members, and I want you to know that we are listening. Here's some of the key takeaways that we have received recently after having 2 years of these unconventional conventions. Number one, having a virtual option for conventions is important to you. We have received that feedback and we hear you loud and clear. We have been told that it allows those who cannot attend an in-person convention for a year the opportunity to still be a part of the convention experience. The other thing we've heard, number two, is that attending a convention virtually is a different experience from attending in person. We hear that too, and we know that too. When attending a convention virtually, other commitments can sometimes get in the way, from maybe a funeral popping up in the morning to maybe observing and having a family commitment at night. A full convention schedule in person done virtually can be challenging to manage at home. And then lastly, the last piece of feedback that we've received is that having some convention content recorded and available for viewing after the convention is a valued part of the convention experience, regardless of if you are attending in person or virtually. So we've received all this feedback. We have been deliberating for months, and we are proud to and excited to announce today that the 2022 National Convention will be held both in person and virtually next summer. The in-person convention will still take place in Louisville, Kentucky from June 28th to July 1st, 2022, just as Berta said. Let me repeat that. The in-person convention location and dates are not changing. June 28th to July 1st in Louisville, Kentucky. But based on your feedback, we are offering a virtual convention experience the following week after the in-person convention. The virtual convention dates will be July 5th through 7th, 2022. So I'm going to take it over, give it to Berta to talk about some things you need to know about the virtual convention next year.
Good job, Amanda. That was a lot of information. The virtual convention experience won't include all of the components of the in-person event, but will include plenums, mega breakouts, and all concert events from the previous week's in-person experience. This year, the virtual convention will offer a manageable schedule for those who are balancing work and family commitments. This will mean that the days are shorter than an in-person schedule, but the national staff will be right there with you. The virtual convention platform will look and feel very, very similar to this year's convention platform. Content on the virtual platform will be available until September 30th, 2022, whether you attend in person or virtually. Again, all content will not be included in the virtual experience. If you want the full in-person experience, it's still best to plan to be in person. But if financial or personal constraints prevent you from joining in Louisville, this is a great way to still engage with fellow NPM members who will be attending the virtual convention experience with you. Each type of convention experience will have its own pricing structure. More to come about this, including sessions and presenters in January. Amanda, what else do you have for us today?
Well, we do have a couple of minutes left before I share my final details about the convention. So if there is a question about the convention and what we just shared, you do have a couple of moments right now. Please feel free to put it in the chat box on your screen. The last thing I will say is that right before we went live, the NPM website is now live with convention information. So if you go to npm.org and you scroll down to the event information at the bottom of the homepage, you will now see a tab that says 2022 convention information. There you will see the overall skeleton or the framework of the schedules for both in-person and virtual attendance for the convention. So if you want to hear a little bit more about each one, I encourage you to go take a look at them. I want you in particular to notice, like Berta said, that there will be a different, more condensed schedule for virtual attendees. It's the same reason, actually, Berta, that we decided to have the virtual convention one day shorter than the in-person convention. We are offering the virtual convention based on two main things: to your personal schedule at home, and also the fact that we would be straddling all time zones. And so you'll notice that for East Coasters, the virtual schedule will actually start a little bit later. If I remember correctly, it starts at 12 o'clock. Eastern time, which of course allows then the day to start at 9 a.m. for Pacific time. So again, please go and check out the convention information page on the homepage of npm.org. Not everything will be up there yet, obviously, but at the very least, you will have the dates that we just announced, as well as the framework of the schedule for both virtual and in-person attendance.
Amanda, one of the things that I really love, and I hope that everybody notices in our virtual schedule, is that we are showing the plenums twice each day. So if you are busy in the morning and you can't make that, you want to watch it with the rest of us, we are showing it again in the evening. So I think that that's a very exciting thing for all of us, whether you're on the East Coast, West Coast, Pacific time, wherever you are, just to be with us. And so we're excited about being able to offer that.
Exactly. And like Berta mentioned, to stay on the virtual portion for one more second, there will still be check-ins. If you've attended last year or the year before, so if you've attended the 2020 or the 2021 convention, you know that we have check-ins, typically Berta and myself, just giving you an update on anything you need to know for the day ahead. You will still have these check-ins if you are a virtual attendee. You will also be able to engage with one another in the chat box, as we will be traveling with you as we watch these sessions together. So we will be following a similar schedule. And like Berta said, if let's say you still have to miss part of a day, no problem. All convention content that is recorded will be available on the platform until September 30th. Is it okay now too, if we say, just to wrap up here, is it okay to say when registration opens for the convention?
Yes, well, since you've opened that can, I guess we should say that.
Well, Berta,
registration opens on January 10th, since Amanda has let the cat out of the bag. Actually, it's not a secret. January 10th will be registration opening. And in your January magazine, you will also see all the sessions, breakouts, plenums, concert events, pre-convention events. It'll be chock full like it always is with all that information.
Absolutely. So we hope this gives you a small taste and also a better idea of what we have planned based on the feedback you have given us over the last several months from both your experiences in the 2020 and then 2021 conventions. We hope that this provides you with the in-person experience that so many of you crave, while also offering a virtual experience that may be a little more tailor-made if you need to stay home that year for whatever reason that is.